All right, we're back. So, you guys have a couple of days away from work after a bit of a trying encounter and a bit of a feeling of maybe failure, maybe just like success mixed with like that twinge of we did everything right, so why did everything go wrong? What do you want to do for the next couple of days?
Hitting up Maha and being like, I need to go fucking hit something with swords. Can I hit up that virtual game of yours again?
Yeah, Maha is excited to play again, and she will happily engage in a game of swords with you. No double entendre there at all. No.
Yo.
I think we have swords.
So she's just happy to see you in general. And so apparently is Kat. Kat seems like very pleased to have you come by. And afterwards, like she'll make dinner for the two of you or for the three of you, and some dessert. And over dinner, Kat will bring up, I'm very happy that this is working out. Maha, I know you don't like when I talk about these things, but it's very hard for Maha to find friends sometimes. And it can get stressful, Sometimes you want to be able to do your own thing, and you don't want somebody to be just dependent upon you for their entertainment. She doesn't really like all of my friends, and I don't like all the things that she likes, so it's nice to have somebody that she can share something with.
Well, I can relate on not making friends easy there, so... Yeah, it's been a nice stress reliever from what this job has turned into right now, to just be able to come hang out and beat each other up, kind of.
Maha chuckles a bit. Yeah, I think I know what you mean. I heard a little bit. Things didn't go too well, did they?
Not exactly. I mean, it seemed like they went well at first, and then we got back to town, and everything just went to shit.
I've been on a few of those myself in the past. It's so shitty the way this company is operated at times. Or the way this organization is.
Honestly, it's not so much the ministry it's just all the other bullshit that happened when we get back to town. Like, we got these orcs, not believing that I'm doing my job, and I have to deal with them. And then I got this Templar riding my ass about not doing my proper job, and I have to deal with him. And it's just like, people just let me do my job?
You ran into an actual Templar?
Yeah, and he was a dick.
I've heard they are. I've always hoped I wouldn't have to deal with one myself. Demi-Templars I've encountered, they're rude in their own sort of way.
Yeah, I had to deal with one of those later, too. Ugh.
They are sticklers for rules, even when they don't matter. How about the rest of you?
I'm gonna grab my kid real fast.
Mm-hmm.
Brianna is going to. She spends her time. She's been writing a new song, not with the exact details of everything that happened to her, but more of a song using a lot of metaphor and that kind of thing for being wrongfully imprisoned and being kept down by the man and all of that. And so she would be performing her new song because she's just getting all of her feelings out, and in between that she might be going to I don't know, do they have clubs or bars or just something to
taverns are essentially bars. There are actually clubs if you want to hit the club scene.
Well, she would be going to something like that just to kind of maybe like a dance club or something, just to kind of like,
Oh my
de-stress a
god.
little bit.
I'm so sad that I didn't know anybody would go in this direction, because I have like entire soundtracks of music that I've been downloading.
What are you doing?
Going
hold
to
on.
a dance club.
I'm gonna set some
Oh.
different music.
AKA, you're gonna go look at some strippers.
No, she would say strip club. I'm sure if she meant strip
Yeah,
club.
I said what I meant. Brianna wants to dance. Like that's how she,
Gotcha.
works out and gets those endorphins pumping.
Let me find
Well,
this
one of the
music. Damn it. Should have known anybody would go in this direction. In the meantime, let's jump over real quick to the other two of you. What are your plans? Should probably at least continue playing this in the meantime while I look for the song.
Gulran will do his standard check out what's going on at the church.
Okay. You can head over to the church. Are you okay, Gulran? I heard that you got locked up. Is this true?
Yeah, could you believe it?
What for? I don't understand. You've been an upstanding fellow as long as you've been working here. What the hell could they have found wrong with you?
Well, it was a misunderstanding. The magics of the forest took me for a moment. You wouldn't happen to have... I know you gave me this great amulet, but it helps with physical hits, but do you have anything that would help against mental attacks, perhaps?
You dealt with some kind of mental attack?
Well, I lost my senses for a moment. I can only assume. I wasn't able to identify the source of its power, I guess.
I think perhaps I might have something. Here, come with me. Once again, he brings you back into that back area. And he'll dig around for quite a while looking for something. And get almost frustrated for a moment as he's like digging and digging and digging. And then finally he pulls out this thing that he kind of like shakes the dust off of. This giant sheet of something. And then he'll walk over to you, kind of giving it a few like blows as he goes. It has the giant book and bow symbol on the back of it. Throw this on over your shoulders the next time you're forced to go out in something like this. And you should find it should give you just that little extra push you need.
Sorry, from when you're describing, it's like a cloak, or
it is a cloak. One which is a little more resistant.
Almost like a +2.
No, this is just a +1.
Garbage, Morin. Throw it out. Morin, should I don't want to take all of your resources. Should I just leave it here until I need it, kind of thing, or should I?
No. I think you deserve it. From what I heard, you helped bring an orc to justice. And it sounds like your intentions are good in what you're talking about. I speak with a few people from the ministry. I understand that your work is still for the good of our kind.
Excellent, Morin. I have one further request.
Yes.
At the coronation it was a coronation of Elizabeth, right?
Yeah.
Okay. At Elizabeth's coronation that you joined me at, I had the pleasure of speaking with... What was his name? Vengulius? Constantius? If I'm pronouncing that right?
Vangelis.
Vangelis, yes, sorry. Human names are still hard.
Yes, the high priest of the Temple of Anhur.
Yes, I had an interesting conversation with him, and he was researching into some things that I was finding very interesting. Do you know if there's a way to communicate with him, or?
Well, he is a bit of a...
In demand?
Yeah, you could say that. Everybody loves Anhur. You know, everybody's like, I love that hero. There's all kinds of heroes over there in that church, and Shashat doesn't have as many. People aren't as worried about those who defend knowledge as much as they are those who defend everything they can find to defend. And Anhar has this way of handing out shiny things to his followers. The shinier, the better. I'm sure that knight that you got going around with you is very excited to have that big shiny armor on her.
Yeah, she can't wait to rub it in every chance she gets, I assume.
If you're looking for him, though, you might try heading over to Anher's temple and see if he'll be willing to meet with you. But a lot of people often are looking for him, and so it can be a bit difficult to get a session with him.
Yes, it's not super urgent. I was just wondering if we had more of a divine way of priority of speaking with him, maybe, or if there were, like, I don't know, if the heads of churches gathered every once in a while or something of that sort.
No, unfortunately not. That hasn't been going on for a few dozen years now. We used to have, like, a regular meeting to discuss, like, the goings-on of the divine, but in the last few decades, there's been a bit of a shattering between us. Even those of us that used to be very close have become more distant, almost as if we're at ends about who should have more or less followers.
Is there something to have caused this strife?
If you want my personal opinion, I think a lot of this has to do with a lot of Thoth trying to disseminate bad information, trying to separate people at every cost he can.
Thoth. Terrible. All right. Our constant war with Thoth continues then, I guess.
As it probably always will. But I'm sure if you have good information to share with him, he'd be happy to speak with you.
Perhaps I'll take my chances then.
Good luck to you then.
Thank you, Morin. As always, it's a pleasure speaking with you.
Same.
Oh, I was going to give a donation, but I actually have zero money, so I'll give my prayers. Thank you, Shashat, to giving me this gift will serve us well.
No problem. And how about you, Antaeus? What are you doing? I can't find these songs.
Man, getting scrolls is very hard for second level for me to copy over. So I'm gonna, because I have other extracts and stuff I'd like to have, but man, being able to get one is rough. I mean, they're not all pertinent, but so I suppose I'll go see what's it? Why can't I remember his name? The goblin.
Costas? Oh.
No, the one that was his
Zigmar's.
Zigmar, yeah.
Sigma boy.
Let's see if he has any if he has any way to if he knows any way that I could make some money or maybe make some exchanges for spells or something of that nature.
All right.
Just copying them.
So you can head over to find Zigmar's. His usual roost. And you'll find him there at the right time of day. Well, if it isn't my good friend again. How you doing, buddy?
Oh, I'm doing fantastic. How are you?
Always good to see you again, so I'm doing well. Yes, how's the big one doing?
I suppose she's doing well now that we're back.
If you you ever get a chance, tell her I'd like to see her again. It'd be nice to see her, Nice change of scenery.
Yeah, I'll make sure to pass the message along if I run into her in the next couple days.
You're a good man, Antaeus.
I like to do what I can. I like to, help people out when they need some help.
Yeah, speaking of that, you like helping people out, don't you?
I sure do.
And you got a little knight that you can kind of be in the ear of, right, as well? If she doesn't necessarily want to see me, she could still be helpful to me in a number of ways.
I mean, I could put you two in contact, and what happens between the two of you is between the two of you.
Well, you see, if she doesn't want to see me, I don't think that's going to happen, but I'll tell you what. Perhaps if I plant a little something in your ear, maybe, just maybe, it'll work its way around to where I need it to be, you know?
I mean, I can't dictate what you two talk about, but I'm sure that I can make sure that that you guys run into each other sooner or later.
Look, if that happens, that happens. But what I'm more interested in is, I heard, Little Bird told me, the four of you made your way into the woods. Is that right?
What happened before I made my way into the woods?
The four of you made your way into the woods. Is that right, Little Bird?
Oh, the four of you. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had some business to attend to out there.
You know, if you're gonna be going back that way sometime?
I'm sure we probably will, as much as I don't particularly want to.
Rumor has it, things are getting a little weird out there. There might be some strange things are growing. If you could give me some of the vines that are growing out there, some of those new little spiky vines. It's a lot I think that could be done.
I'm assuming that those are the ones that ran into. I'll start describing how they looked.
Yeah, those are it.
Vines.
I've heard those things have a little something inside of them that make you feel a little special, if you know what I'm saying.
I'm sure that they do. In their natural state, it's less than ideal situation to run into those. But if I come across them, I'll see if I can bring back something.
Just one or two, and your knight friend can say you're bringing them back for research purposes or whatever, or, you know, maybe you get things confused.
I would love to be able to research the properties of this and understand better why it affects people the way that it does.
Exactly. You see what I'm saying here?
It could be very pertinent to our case, for our ministry case.
Yeah, see? That maybe that's why I'm asking you to look into it. You know, I'm thinking ahead. I'm a forward thinker, you know? And maybe, you know, if one of those were to show up, there would be the right amount of coin to just be in the right spot for you when you needed it.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah, what if a few platinums just showed up at your doorstep one day after you happen to drop a few of these in the right place?
That would be mighty coincidental.
Mm-hmm.
Learning new spells is very expensive.
I have heard.
Extracts.
I have heard from family members of mine that when you need magic, it can be hard to come by. You know, my sister had to go in and have one of those like little removal things of her kids from her, because she couldn't get to where she needed to get the proper magics done for her work, you know?
Of course.
That's a terrible thing for somebody to have to go through.
I would assume so. I wouldn't have any personal experience in that department, but
I mean, I wouldn't think so, but you know.
But I do have at least a few days until we have to meet with we have a meeting, but the downtime, and I do have some what's up?
No, sorry, unrelated.
Sub, got it. Yes, I do have a few days until we have another meeting, and plenty of time in case you have anybody that you might know that would like to spend a little bit of money. I also
Ooh.
have I also recently acquired this this dagger, and I'll kind of like pull it out and see. I'll see how he reacts when I pull that out.
He notices some of the. Actually, let me do a quick check here because he may not, but I think he should.
I'm assuming we're in like a relatively.
Yeah, you're usually
safe
down an
place to
alley when
have
you're
this
talking to him.
conversation.
He doesn't usually talk too much in public. Yeah.
Yeah, not right.
I see. Then you went and saw Costas like I told you about.
Yes, it was a very startling experience to say the least.
It smells like shit there, doesn't it?
And it apparently lingers once you leave, and I was not aware of that.
Yeah.
Um,
It's rough when he gets one of my team to convert over to some of his ideas, though. Dangerous stuff, and some of them end up downright becoming experiments.
that would explain the decorations inside
Yeah.
of his house.
A lot of people volunteer for research purposes and don't realize that research purposes might mean not having skin anymore.
Yes, not having skin sounds like a terrifying prospect.
From what I've heard from some of them, it's a fun thing until they go a little too far. You can really get into some tight places when you don't have bones to worry about.
I suppose that is true. I hadn't thought about it that way. It seems less than ideal, from a mental perspective, having to go through that.
I imagine it'd be a
But-
little bit disorienting, but once you get used to the idea of not being in your body, it's probably like pretty cool, actually. Must
I
also be
suppose
really
as long as
cool in a lot of other ways, the breezes and.
I suppose if you are aware of it going on, then it would be, yes. I mean, I've been doing some research, and I found ways to do things of that nature, but I haven't quite dabbled in it yet. It's something that a little bit of extra money would help with. And fortunately, I have this, which I'm a little skeptical about using personally, given the nature of where I received it, but I suppose learning how it works wouldn't necessarily hurt. And
Well, if you were clear about what you wanted, Costas will really make sure things work out well for you. So that's the real key. Be clear with him. He'll be something with you.
something with you is as accurate as a description of him as I've ever heard.
Well, as long as you're checking it out, you're good to go. But I think I can give you a few contacts real quick to meet up with. I'm sure they'll be willing to help put a little bit of coin in your pocket.
Yes, and with this, I should be able to craft something a little more expensive than I have the properties for at the moment, which would be nice.
Indeed.
Make a
So
quick
let me
coin.
have you give me an alchemy check.
All righty then. Let me double check something real. Oh, perfect. Before I do that, I'll go ahead and do this.
Okay.
Oh, that's
One sec here. Just trying to find something real quick.
sure.
Why am I having so much trouble finding this stupid thing?
Okay, and then alchemy check. Seems good.
Excellent. Very good. If only I could find this stupid chart. There we go. I thought that was it. God damn. I'm like stalling up the game real bad. Good job, me. So yeah, overall, I think you can probably, thanks to the dagger, you'll probably make yourself about 50 gold over this couple of days.
Perfect. Only 50. Dang.
Only 50? That's a lot for a couple of days of drug selling.
Yeah, that's true. I suppose I wouldn't necessarily need to use this then to. Maybe I would, but I was thinking something more expensive than that. But
no, to make that kind of money, you'd have to be able to put yourself out there a little more, and you've only got a couple of days to do things.
That's true. So, yeah, it would take me a little longer to be able to make those contacts and then make that kind of drug.
Yep, but over time, this may result in some more long-term income.
Also, if he has contacts that are willing to allow me to, in exchange, and instead of an exchange for money, allow me to copy a spell out of their spell book, I would be willing to do that as well.
So far, not so much. In time, maybe.
Okay, I'll give him a list of certain spells that I was looking for. And
okay,
then if
there
he
you go.
comes across anything, and I'll send those to you in Discord.
All right. So let's hit up the club, and unfortunately, I don't have my good club music because I didn't end up downloading it. I had really good stuff that I did download it, and I have no idea where it is. This is
Cheat is grounded.
the only acceptable track I have, and it's not even that like pertinent. As close as I can get. It's also the dream music from the other game.
No light switch raised for you.
So, you head to somewhere where it is loud and really takes your mind off of the rest of what is going on. There are a few places you can go, and most of them are the kinds of places that nobody gives a shit what the name is. These are places where you can just disappear and find other people to disappear into. So, it's very easy for a girl like you to get into a place like this. Lines don't matter much to you. And you are allowed inside. It's a little louder than I want it to be. Let's get somewhere in between. Within the particular place you'll probably find, how would you say you probably go about finding a place like this? Let's actually start there.
Okay, so since I am used to performing, I would probably be talking with other performers, kind of finding out what the good, places to go. All I really, really want to do is just kind of dance, maybe there be some music with beat, and I'm just kind of, not really thinking about anything, but just dancing and having fun.
Okay. Give me a diplomacy check. Let's see what you come up with. Reasonable enough. You can find a good place to hang out. This is a bit less cleanly, but it's still good. The sound is maybe a little lower in quality. There's some of the beats are there, but they're something about the acoustics of this place probably just don't fit well. But it's nice, a nice place to just be for a while and not have to worry about being. As you're there, though, as is customary, some things do get passed around. And I'm curious, as things get passed around, do you partake in what passes around? Or do you just let it go?
I might ask, what is this before I decide?
It'll make sure you have a good time, you know? Who doesn't want to have a good time?
I guess I'll take it.
All right. Give me a fort save. Ooh, good time to crit. You are. Let me find this real quick. This was it. Nope, that's not the one. It's the other one. You feel amazing. You feel music.
Can I see the music? Like, just...
You can see the music. You are the music. Like, you know that you could play this and you can see it and you can feel it. And man, I am music. I am living music. And the beat, like, carries you all through the night. And even beyond there. But we'll get to that. You are getting a lot of attention while you're there. A lot of attention. But we can talk a little bit more about that after we take another short break.